Top Shelf.
Hello and welcome to Top Shelf Board Games. I'm Hubba, and today we're going to learn how to play Alchemist. In Alchemist, players are competing to be the most reputable alchemist among your peers. You'll be doing this by publishing theories to the theory board, testing out potions on students, drinking potions yourself, and even mixing and selling potions to merchants that pass through. Let's go to the table and learn how to play. Alright, a round of Alchemist is broken up into 3 phases. The first phase is determining turn order, then declaring actions by placing your cubes onto the board. The third part of the round is actually doing your actions. So let's go over turn order. Players will take turn placing their marker onto the board, starting with the player that has the first player token. When you place your marker on there, you'll immediately draw the cards associated with the space that you place on. Whether it's taking a resource or taking a favor card, or you might be able to take one of each. You'll immediately draw those cards off the respective decks and put them behind your shield. Once turn order has been determined, starting with the player on the bottom, they will place their cubes onto the board. Alright, Blue has gone ahead and placed his cubes onto the spots that he wants to take actions on. He placed his cubes onto the corresponding spaces. Each individual square will house 1 cube. That means you're going to take 1 action on that space. In order to take a second action on some of these, you have to place 2 cubes down. Over here, just to do this action, you have to place 2 cubes down. If you notice, the blue player has placed his cubes on the very bottom row. This is because he is last in the play order to take those actions. So everywhere that blue places, he placed on the bottom row. Likewise, yellow being third to act has placed his on the 3rd row, and red being first has placed at the top. Once players have declared all of the actions they're going to take, we then resolve actions starting with the first space here. On the forage for ingredients, you'll remove your cube if you have one there and take one of the face-up ingredients and put it behind your player's shield. For each cube you have, you'll be able to do that. Next, we'll come over here to the transmute action. You'll remove your cube, starting with the top left corner. We'll go first, then it will work your way down the row and just keep going through until all cubes have been pulled off of the board. So red would go ahead and remove his cube. He would then gain 1 coin for every ingredient that he discards from his hand. Next, we can come over here to on the sell potion space. Turn order is a little bit different over here. Players will take their bid cards that they have in hand. These are the discount cards that they're going to offer to the merchant that wants to buy from them. Whoever chooses a card with the most smiley faces will be first to act. Players will be reordered based on the smiley faces that they had. You go ahead and remove your cubes. You place 1 cube on the space of the ingredient that you are going to try to make. So once yellow places this cube there, he's going to try to make a negative green potion. This prevents the other players from trying to make that potion later on. Then you're going to guarantee the quality of that potion. If you think that you can guarantee that you can make the sign and the color, you'll place your cube there. If you are guaranteeing that you'll make the sign of the potion, but not necessarily the color, you'll place here. This means that you're going to make a neutral potion. And this one is just that you're going to have something in the bottle. Once you've selected your quality, you'll also get paid coins for making that potion that you guarantee. Then you will go ahead and take your phone that you have. You'll click on the sell potion. You'll pick the potion you're trying to make, which is negative green. You'll then choose 2 ingredients that you have and scan them into your phone. Once they're correct, you hit confirm and it'll tell you the potion that you made. In this case, he made nothing. Because the quality that you bid was, you guaranteed a better quality than that, you wouldn't collect any coins. If you had made a quality that was better than what you guaranteed, you would still only collect the coins that you had originally guaranteed. If you had played a discount card, you would take the amount of coins away from the coins that you would normally collect. When you place your cube on there, you have to make sure that the discount you offer won't put you below 0. Next, we go to the buy artifact. Players remove their cube. They select one of the artifacts to purchase. The cost is up here in the corner. and the victory points are over here in the top right. There's also special abilities that they have. Some give you points, some give you actions or improve your gameplay as you go throughout the game. Next, we have the debunk action. The debunk action allows you to come over to the theory board, choose an ingredient that has an alchemical already published to it, and try to prove that alchemical wrong. In the master variant, you're going to prove that one of these signs and colors is incorrect. If you think that the positive red is incorrect and you can prove that, you'll attempt to debunk it by going to your phone, selecting the debunk theory. You'll then choose the ingredients that you're going to use to prove that that is incorrect. Explain to everybody that these two ingredients together is going to make a positive red, which is going to prove that wrong. Once everybody understands what you're trying to do, you'll click on it, hit confirm, and it's going to tell you whether those ingredients in fact make that sign or if they don't. In this case, they don't. Based on what you presented to the table, if you successfully debunked it, then you would remove the alchemical from the board. You would flip over everybody's seals that are on it. You would gain 2 reputation points for successfully debunking it, moving your token up on the reputation board. Everybody else would lose victory points unless they hedged correctly. What that means is this guy hedged against red. He didn't think the red was correct, so he wouldn't lose any points. However, the star that was played would lose 5 points because he was incorrect on this published theory. Also, if you had a cube on the published theory space, you would then be able to immediately take a published theory action as part of the debunking. Part of that is you either have to publish a new alchemical to this ingredient, these get removed from the board, or you have to use the alchemical that you removed and put it on a different ingredient. When they lose reputation, they move their reputation marker down. Every time you lose reputation, you always want to consult the board. If you're down here in the red area, you will lose 1 less reputation every time you lose reputation. If you're up here from 14 to 17, every time you lose a reputation, you'll lose an additional reputation. Likewise, if you're up here in the blue, every time you lose a reputation, you'll lose an additional 2 reputation. Also, during the offering a discount phase, you'll gain an extra smiley face for being in the 14 to 17 area of reputation. Over here, you'll gain an extra coin when you collect from the sell potion space for being in the blue area. Next on the board that we'll resolve is the published theory space, starting with the top, working our way down. On the published theory action, you'll pay 1 coin in order to publish a theory. You'll also gain 1 reputation point. Or you can also endorse somebody else's theory that is already published. To do this, you'll pay a coin to the bank and a coin to each person that has a seal on the theory that you are endorsing. He would endorse this theory saying that this is correct. Yellow would publish a new theory to the board. Yellow will take a alchemical and place it on an ingredient that they believe matches it. Likewise, yellow will place one of their unused seals, giving it the seal of approval. Anytime that you have 2 seals matching one of these tokens, you will immediately be able to take this grant token and put it onto your player board. It'll grant you get 2 coins immediately, and it'll be worth 2 victory points at the end of the game. You'll then flip it over. Next time you want to collect a grant, you have to have seals on 3 of the ingredients that match the grant that you want to collect. The next space on the board is the test on a student. This is where you'll take 2 ingredients that are in front of you. You'll click the test on a student. You'll scan the ingredients, hit confirm, and it'll tell you that these 2 ingredients make that potion. If you make a negative potion on the student, the first time doesn't matter. However, everybody else that now takes a test on a student action this round will have to pay 1 coin to test on the student. The last space on the board that will be resolved is you can test the potion on yourself. It allows you to drink your potion. You'll click on the drink potion. You'll scan the 2 ingredients that you're gonna drink. And as long as you don't make a negative symbol, you'll just record the information that you get. If you make a negative symbol, a negative blue will lose you a reputation point. A negative green, you'll take your player marker and move it down to the green swirly down here. This is where you'll start your turn during the next round. If you got a negative red, you would take your cube that you had here, put it into the medical slot, and those are the actions that you'll be doing during a round about Alchemists. At the end of the round, whoever has the most seals onto the theory board will gain one reputation point. Those who have cubes in the unused cubes area will go ahead and collect their cubes. If you have cubes in the medical space, you'll go ahead and move those up to the unused space. Then we will reveal a new adventurer. This adventurer goes away, a new one comes out. Because the conference tile has been revealed, it'll get placed in the conference spot. If there was already a conference tile here, we would then go ahead and resolve the conference. You'd have to have 2 in order to gain a reputation. 1, you would lose a reputation. None, you would lose 2 reputation. We would then set up for the new round. We would remove all the ingredients that were here. We would put out new ingredients onto the board. The starting marker would be passed to the person to the left. If you receive the starting player marker and your player marker is in the green swirly space down here, you would take the first player marker and continue to pass it to the person to your left until it goes to somebody that is not in the bottom of the player order. Then you're set up for the next round. Also, when a conference comes out, you would take the artifact cards that are in play and replace them with the next level of artifact cards. The game will continue in this manner until we get to the final round, which is the 6th round of the play. The 6th round is the exact same. However, you will not be able to test on yourself, nor will there be any conferences. Instead, there'll be a new action space that becomes available. Players can place cubes on here during the declare action space. When they take their action on this location, they'll remove their cube here, place it in under the symbol of the potion that they are going to create. Then they would take 2 ingredients that they have in front of them and combine them. If they make that ingredient, they would place their cube on the gain reputation spot if they were the first one to complete it and gain a reputation. If somebody already had their cube there, you would just keep your cube in that spot. Play would continue on. If you successfully make both of the positive and the negative sign of a color of a potion, you'll gain 2 reputation points. Multiple players can achieve this reputation bonus for each of the colors. Likewise, when you are showing your potion skills, if you don't make the correct potion, you'll lose a reputation. We then will go to the final scoring. During the final scoring, all reputation points turn into victory points. You'll collect victory points for the artifact cards that you have in front of you. This one's worth 1. Some are also worth additional points. You'll collect victory points for the grants that you have in front of you. Each grant is worth 2 victory points. You'll exchange any favorite cards that you have in front of you in for gold. For each card that you turn in, you'll gain 2 gold pieces. You'll add up the gold that you have in front of you. For every 3 coins that you have, you'll get another reputation point. And then we will do the big revelation, where we will reveal the theory board to collect points for those who declared their theories correctly and or supported their opponent's theories correctly. Click show answers, hit yes, and then go through each ingredient, revealing all of the seals. If your seal matches, you'll gain the victory points based on the star value of that seal. If it is incorrect, you'll lose 4 victory points. If you reveal a seal that did not hedge correctly against the color that's wrong, you'll also lose 4 victory points. Any seals that are properly hedged, you won't gain any victory points, but you won't lose any victory points. After that's been completed, whoever has the most points will win the game. Before we end, let's talk a little bit about the player board and how deduction works in this game. Every time you mix an ingredient and you get one of the potions and it tells you what potion it makes, you'll take a little token that matches the potion that you created. You'll put it where the 2 ingredients intersect. So if I mixed the mushroom and the toad together, I would place this negative, and it made a negative red. I'd place that token there, and I know that both the mushroom and the toad have a negative red symbol. This allows me to come down here and mark out all of the positive reds for the mushroom and all of the positive reds for the toad. I would mark out the entire box because I know that the alchemical that matches the toad is not going to have a positive red in it. If you ever are given an ingredient like this, where you don't know the color but you got the sign correct, This happens on the sell potion space. When you make this one, it'll tell you that the sign was correct, however the color you tried to make was incorrect. That's when you would take a token like this, place it on the ingredients you mixed, and you would now know that this flower and this grass thing have a positive symbol, but you're not sure which color is the positive. You also might be given a neutral symbol. What this means is that the ingredient that you mixed are polar opposites. So if you find out that the chicken foot has a negative red, you'll know for a fact that the little root over here will have a positive red, because they will neutralize each other out in every aspect. Likewise, if you find out the root is a positive blue, you'll know that the chicken foot is a negative blue. And you'll continue to mark out these squares until you're able to deduce which alchemical token matches each of the ingredients. And then you'll publish those theories onto the board like we talked about and try to gain the most victory points. There's also one more thing that I wanted to mention for the debunking in the master theory. Sometimes when you try to debunk something in the master variant, you won't get a positive answer. You won't absolutely prove that the positive red is wrong, but you'll make it to where there is definitely a question about it being correct. Basically what that means is now it's in conflict, so you'll take a conflict token, you'll place it on the two ingredients that are in conflict. You would gain 2 reputation points still. People will not be able to count their skills towards the conference bonuses as long as those are in conflict. At any time you're able to finally prove one of those is right or incorrect, you'll take the conflict tokens off. And that is how you play Alchemists.